What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol OPEN for Opendoor Technologies. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, I need to let you know they gave us an earnings announcement after the bell today, so let's flip on the extended hour session and see what's going on with the number. So zooming in, you can certainly see a nice move to the upside and starting to get a little bit of bullish consolidation price acceptance here towards these highs of the earnings announcement high. So let's go ahead and start off by giving ourselves the overnight high, the anticipated open. Then we'll turn this off. So we'll turn that back off, eliminate some distractions, and let's take a look at the daily time frame chart as to how this might actually unfold tomorrow at the bell. Now, keep in mind these numbers can change. However, the framework, whenever we're dealing with a gap, remains the same. So the first thing we always look for, it could be a gap up, could be a gap down, is the gap and trap. And what that looks like would be opening here, failing to take out the overnight high, trading back down through the open, essentially triggers a short-sided trade to fill the gap, taking us into today's high of day at $20.93. Call it $21 if you like nice round numbers. So that is the downside case here. Ideally, because this is, it's not a beautiful risk reward. This is more like a 1.5 to 1-ish trade. It's definitely not 2. And it's, pretty close to 1 maybe. It's not ideal when your opening print is so far away from that overnight high. So if this can get closer by the time the bell actually rings, that would be a good thing for this trade. Otherwise, you would probably want to see something like this, right? So it tries to go higher and then immediately turns lower through the open for that gap fill, in which case your risk is here. Instead of having to wait for something like this and then potentially this, you can see how that risk reward is much different, right? So that's what I would say to the downside if we get the gap and trap. Now, the flip side of this coin is the fact that we could get a gap and go. What that would look like, and it would be okay to open down here, would be an immediate shoot higher, some sort of bull flag to be put in, something like this, just underneath the overnight high, some sort of ascending triangle. So it could be like this, higher lows, flat highs, then a break of the overnight high, basically 24 bucks, takes us into this next daily area of resistance here at and around $25.25. So that is the upside case on the gap and go. It's all about whether or not we gap and trap or gap and go. What I quickly want to take a look at is Zillow. Okay, so Z is for Zillow. Zooming in a bit, what did they do on their earnings? Obviously, the two companies are very similar in the sense that they have this flipping program going on. Obviously, Zillow's was a disaster and moved lower. So, is there a possibility that this could foreshadow what might happen with Open? I don't entirely know. I wouldn't be, very confident in saying the move has to be lower, but I just wouldn't be overly optimistic, I suppose, about this space. Maybe if Zillow's getting out of the game, that leaves more margin, more competitiveness for Opendoor. Again, this is more of a fundamental take on what was going on there, but overall, the chart itself would certainly indicate that there is potential for a gap and trap, and we have upside targets mapped out if we do get a gap and go. Technically speaking, if 25.25 goes, next up would be 28.29. Do I really think that the daily candlestick looks something like this? Yeah, I don't really see it as highly probable. Of course, the market can always do whatever it wants to do. I just don't see it as being a likely scenario. So that's really going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.